Most people read the headlines. I read the small print. This is Footnotes, where I find the biggest stories in the smallest detail. It was a sticky, humid summer day in 1941, and a young man was out for a walk in the Swiss Alps. His name was George. He wasn't a scientist by trade, he was an engineer, but more than that, he was a curious soul. And on this particular afternoon, George had a problem, or rather, his dog had a problem. You see, every time they wandered off the beaten path, they both came back covered in burrs, those pesky, prickly little seed from the burdock plant that hitchhike on anything with fur or fabric. Most of us would just grumble, reach for the brush, and throw the pests in the trash. But not George. He took a single burr, placed it under a microscope, and what he saw changed everything. He saw thousands of tiny, microscopic hooks. They weren't just sticking to his wool trousers, they were locking into the loops of the fabric. George had an idea. He thought, if I can recreate these hooks and loops on 2 strips of fabric, I could create a fastener that never wears out. He went to the textile experts in Lyons, France. They laughed at him. They told him it was impossible. To make a hook that small out of nylon? Ridiculous. But George persisted. For 10 years, he tinkered in the shadows. He faced bankruptcy, ridicule. He was trying to marry 2 pieces of fabric using nothing but the physics of a mountain weed. Finally, he found the right process. He gave his invention a name, a mashup of the French words for velvet and hook, velour and crochet. But the world still didn't care. His invention sat on shelves gathering dust as a novelty item until a little organization called NASA came knocking. They needed a way for astronauts to climb into suits and secure equipment in 0 gravity without fumbling with buttons or zippers. Suddenly, the mountain weed was in outer space. It was on every sneaker in America. It was the sound of the 20th century. George de Mestral didn't just go for a walk in the woods. He found a way to hold the world together. The past is never truly gone. It's just waiting to be rediscovered. I'm Brenda, and thanks for spending a minute in the Footnotes with me.